As the issue of gay marriage confronts more states, more local governments, and more people who are vehemently on either side of the debate, it was interesting to hear South Carolina Republican Senator Lindsey Graham at a recent confirmation hearing for proposed Attorney General Loretta Lynch bring up the ever-present slippery slope issue, taking gay marriage as the starting point for something many see as just unsavory. Let's welcome to MidPoint a man who believes the Supreme Court is walking down the aisle with what could be the legalization of polygamy. Mark Henkel joins us today. Mark, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Mark, how do you answer those people who, when they hear this, and they say that Lindsey Graham brought up a very good idea and a very good concept here, they are afraid that gay marriage means polygamy then becomes the law of the land eventually? Got to tell you, you know people are scared about this, and there are people who say that this is simply unnatural.
My answer is that government has no authority to license, define, and control the contractual arrangements of consenting adults. And what we actually propose at the polygamy rights movement for consenting adults is the polygamy rights win-win solution, and that is abolish all government marriage control for unrelated consenting adults. Then no one gets to redefine marriage, no one gets to use government to define special rights for one definition versus another, or to impose those definitions upon anyone else. So the true limited government perspective for conservatives, getting government out of it, being limited government, and for liberals, equality for all, the true constitutional solution that is a win-win and face-saving way to get out of the matter altogether is to abolish all marriage control for unrelated consenting adults.
Plural marriage, though, is still a crime in many places, is it not?
That is because it is still on the books, and that was as a result of the liberal activist judges of the 1878 Supreme Court that did an end run around the 10th Amendment when it came to establishing the anti-polygamy precedent. That precedent was based on a jurisdictional management law that was managing and regulating the non-state territories, but they knew the law could not be applied in the states. So when the case emerged, Reynolds v. United States in 1878, it was based on the jurisdictional management and was not allowed the opportunity to have a 10th Amendment defense because they knew that the federal government is prohibited by the U.S. Constitution to be involved in the definition of marriage.
All right, let's go ahead and look at something else here because your points are well made, but let's look at this. There are studies out there that show that polygamy creates abusive relationships that are completely antithetical to family values. Co-wives lose favor, pushed aside for new and often younger rivals. They fend for themselves, their kids, dwindling resources and support, and they are exploited by emotionally detached husbands, basically saying that polygamy is wrong for so many reasons. It affects the woman and the kids, and basically it's just to keep the man happy and satisfied. And I think apparently what has happened is in the middle of our conversation here, somebody got involved. And it might have been a higher power. Who knows? It's strange indeed, because certainly when we asked that question, the Skype died and went out. So that will be a question that I guess we will have to leave for another day, if perhaps we get Mark back in the next moment. But let's just point out again that there are those who think that polygamy is inherently evil. There are those who believe, as I said, that it is a bad idea for the women that are involved. It is a bad idea for the children that are involved. And there are also people, such as the Center for Religious Expression, who believe, quite frankly, that if you allow polygamy in this country, it would be a cultural landscape seismic shift. Mark, we got you back on the phone for about 40 seconds here. Did you hear my question? Mark? See, even there's something's happening here, even to the phone lines themselves. We're going to have to say goodbye to Mark here because of multiple technical difficulties here. So we're going to have to come back and deal with this at another time because, quite frankly, you have those such as Lindsey Graham who believe that if you are going to get involved in gay marriage, they believe it will be that slippery slope down to polygamy. Oh, yes, and by the way, we should point out that when he asked that of Loretta Lynch, he said, what's the legal difference between a state, a ban on same-sex marriage being unconstitutional, but a ban on polygamy being constitutional? The lady, who may be the Attorney General, said, I'll look forward to continuing the discussion with you. She said she has inexperience in cases such as these, and she would get back to him. We will also get back to Mark Henkel in some of these other discussions at a later time. All right, has a Texas judge started what will be the eventual downfall of the president's immigration plan? That and a lot more. Carol Roth is on the other side of the break when we continue right here on MidPoint.